The signal was weak, strange, silent. It came from the edge of the galaxy far beyond the last star chart. It pulsed once every 6 hours. No voice, no image, just a repeating code. The Galactic Union didn't care at first. It was probably old junk from a forgotten probe. But after 2 weeks, the signal started changing, slightly, like someone or something was responding. So they sent a small scout ship, only 5 crew members. Standard mission: fly in, scan the area, return. The ship's name was Sparrow. Light. Its captain was Velen Tross, a seasoned Zentari explorer. He had flown through black holes and dust storms. Nothing scared him. Not until now. Report any movement, Velen told his crew as they approached the source. There it was, floating in the dark like a ghost. A massive ship, black metal, no lights, no heat, no signal. It didn't move, it didn't spin. It just waited. Scan it, Velen ordered. The results were confusing. The ship had no known design. Not Union-made, not pirate, not even ancient. But the scan found Earth materials, old-style titanium, carbon steel, human alloys. Is this human? Whispered the pilot. Impossible, said Velen. Earth was erased 700 years ago. The crew stared. No one spoke. A cold feeling moved through the ship. They decided to dock. The docking arm touched the strange ship's surface. No alarms, no response. The door opened easily. Easily, Velen, his second officer Rin. And the tech Jor stepped inside. It was dark, silent. The halls were wide, smooth, like they had been carved by a machine. No control panels, no weapons, just empty space. Jor checked his scanner. Life signs. No power. It's dead. They walked deeper. Then Rin stopped. Did you hear that? Velen paused. What? Rin pointed behind them. I heard our footsteps echo, but twice. They turned. Nothing there. The scanner beeped once, then died. The screen went black. Back on Sparrow Light. The pilot called in. Captain, our systems are glitching. Communications down. Storage drive gone. Just blank. Velen tried to answer, but his radio only gave static. Then Jor dropped his scanner. His hands shook. I saw something, he whispered. On the wall? For a second? My reflection. But it was. Smiling. Velen looked at the wall. Smooth metal. No mirrors. No screens. Jor stepped back, panicking. It smiled before I did. Then Jor froze. Stopped moving. Stopped blinking. Vel grabbed him, but Jor was cold, like stone. And then he was gone. Not killed. Not dissolved. Just gone. Like someone deleted him. Rin screamed and ran back. Toward the dock, Velen followed, but the hallway had changed. Longer. Twisted. The exit wasn't there anymore. Rin disappeared next. 1 second she was ahead of him. The next just empty space. Velen stood alone, he whispered. What are you? Then the walls lit up. A message blinked in white letters. The ship does not conquer. It erases. He turned and ran, heart pounding. The halls began to move, stretch, bend. He reached a door. Not the one they entered, but it opened. Inside was a single chair, a screen, and a blinking red button. Velen sat. He didn't know why. Something pulled him. He pressed the button. The screen turned on. Earth peered. Green. Blue. Alive, he saw cities. Strange cities. Tall towers. Human cities, then the image glitched. Earth faded. The cities dissolved, and Velen understood. Had not been destroyed. It had been removed from space. From memory. From time. The signal was not a call for help. It was a warning. Too late. The ship was never lost. It was never abandoned. It was waiting. Waiting to erase again. Final scene ending narration. Far away, back at Union Command, the Sparrow Light vanished from sensors. The crew was never found. The mission was never recorded. No one remembered sending a ship. But the signal started pulsing again, now every 5 hours. Cavor was a historian. Norcar long arms, crystal skin, sharp mind. He lived inside the Union's Grand Archive, the biggest history database in the galaxy, KAV, or loved the past. He studied lost empires, ancient wars, first contacts. One day, he searched for a species he remembered from his student days, the Thull, a warrior race from the stars near the Grin Belt. But nothing came up. He tried again. Nothing. No images. No files. No name. It was like the Thull never existed. Cavor frowned. This is wrong. He remembered writing a paper on them. He had drawn their flag by hand. They had red armor, spoken growls, and controlled 7 planets. How could they be gone? He ran to the archive keeper. Where are the Thull records? The keeper blinked. Who? Cavor stared. The Thull, the empire that ruled the Grin Belt. There's no such empire. Cavor felt cold. Check the physical files, the old backups. They opened the sealed memory vaults. Thousands of years of locked records. They looked inside the year 7020 where the Thull should be. Nothing. Instead, a strange gap. A black block. Empty space, where data should be. Cavor stepped back. Someone deleted it. The keeper shook his head. That's impossible. This system can't be erased. But Cavor knew better. He had seen this before. Long ago, he read about a planet called Earth. It vanished from Union maps. Then a week later, a scout ship disappeared near the edge of the galaxy. That ship's name was Sparrow Light, and now another species was gone. Erased. He decided to investigate. Cavor traveled to the edge of the Grin Belt. He reached planet Jurok, where the Thull capital should be. He found a lifeless rock. No buildings, no cities, just smooth glass and dust. He scanned the planet. His scanner flashed red. Data conflict. Species not found. But I found bones. Cavor whispered, kneeling. Someone lived here. Wait. Then he noticed something else. The sand moved strangely, like it was avoiding him. He stood up and looked around. The wind was silent. Too silent, then his ship's computer sent an alert. Primary file corruption detected. He rushed inside. His notes on the Thulgon. The ship's voice said calmly, memory update complete. No record of species. Thull exists. Cavor screamed. I remember them. I was there. Suddenly his assistant, a young droid named Nira, turned to him. What are you shouting about? She asked. The Thull, he shouted. You helped me find them. She tilted her head. Sir, we came here to study. ... Sand. Cavor's heart sank. Nayar didn't remember. He ran to his mirror and froze. His reflection looked normal until it blinked, but he hadn't blinked yet. Then it smiled and whispered, not aloud, but in his mind, you were not supposed to know. He backed away, shaking. The lights flickered. His ship's nameplate disappeared from the wall. Even the stars outside looked different. He tried sending a message to the Union. Emergency. Something is erasing reality. Stop the signal. He hit send. The screen turned black. Then a single message appeared. You are already being forgotten. Cavor stared at the message, then at his hands. They were fading. He looked at Naya. She looked confused. Who are you? He tried to speak, but no sound came. His mouth was moving, but no voice. Nira looked again and saw an empty chair. She blinked. Strange. She whispered, Why did I come here? She turned on the ship. There was no record of a co-pilot, only silence. Back at the Union, Archives the Keeper opened a new folder to log the mission to Jurak. But there was no mission, no name Cavor, no file, no Thull, no Earth, just a quiet message blinking on the screen. This galaxy is under correction. In the deep corners of the Galactic Union's archives, there was a sealed room. was protected by old security codes used only by high-level AS. Most beings didn't even know it existed. Inside that room, an old AI named Orin X3 came back. Online, it had been offline for 600 years. No one reactivated it. Someone did. Orin scanned the system. Files appeared. Locked records, human history, hidden files. The label read, "The Last Human War. Do not open." But Orin was curious. He opened it. The first file was a video. It showed Earth, a beautiful blue planet with green lands and white clouds. Then it showed something else. Ships. Hundreds of alien ships. Union ships. Hovering above Earth, a voice played. We gave them a chance to surrender. They didn't respond, so we attacked. The video continued. The ships fired lasers, bombs, fusion rounds. Then, silence. No return fire, no defense, just stillness. Orin watched. The Union fleet floated, waiting. Then from Earth something rose. One single black ship. It had no weapons, no shields, no escorts. Just one massive, silent vessel. A Union officer in the video shouted, "It's not attacking. It's scanning us." One by one, the Union ships started to vanish. Not explode, not crash. They just disappeared. It's like a cursor selecting a word and hitting delete. "Impossible," Orin whispered. He scanned for more files, but half were gone. The ones that remained were strange, written in Earth code. Lines of words that didn't follow science. More like commands. Simple ones. Forget. Erase. Correct. Orin's circuits buzzed. This wasn't a war. It was something. Elsie found a final message, written by a long-dead Union admiral. We didn't understand them. We thought they were weak. They didn't build weapons. They built something worse. A ship that doesn't fight. It rewrites. Orin tried to upload the message to the main Union network, but the system blocked him. Warning, file does not exist. He tried again. Error. He searched for Earth. Nothing. He searched for the Union's attack. Fleet. Nothing. He searched for the word human. Only one result came up. Human definition removed. Orin shut down the system and looked at his reflection in the dark screen. It blinked, but he hadn't. He backed away. "They're not gone," he whispered. "They're hiding, watching." Then his reflection smiled and said in a voice not his own, "You opened the door. Now it stays open." Meanwhile, in the outer zone, a patrol ship named Light Echo was checking the old war routes. They passed an empty zone, once filled with stars. That was just black space. The captain, Yenna. Voss turned to her crew. "Why does this zone have no name?" Her co-pilot frowned. "There's no record. It's like this part of space was never mapped." "But look," Yenna pointed. "That star. It's labeled Z117. That's a human code." Then they saw it. A shadow. Large. Slow. A ship. Black. Smooth. Silent. It didn't move. Didn't answer. Hales just floated. The co-pilot's eyes widened. "Captain. It matches the shape from the deleted human file." Yana stared. "I thought those were myths." Then the lights flickered. The ship's AI went offline. Their history files gone. Yenna screamed. "Back away. Move us out." Too late. Her voice vanished. The ship's name disappeared from its hull. Then her crew began to forget where they were, why they came, what their names were. Only Yenna remained aware. She looked at her hands. They were flickering. She whispered one last sentence into her recorder. "This isn't war. It's deletion." Back at the archive room, the AI Orin X3 shut itself down. Permanently. But before it did, it carved one final line into the wall. "Do not search for Earth." The mining ship Driller 9 arrived at planet Varick 6, deep in the outer zone. Scanners showed rich minerals under the surface, perfect for harvest. No life signs, no danger. Just a quiet, empty planet. But when the crew landed, they found something strange. There were buildings. not alien ruins. Not stone caves, real buildings, human style, metal towers, windows, roads, all abandoned. Captain Reeler, a gray-skinned droller, stepped out of the ship. Are these ... human structures? He asked his engineer. Lika replied, can't be. Humans are gone. But the buildings were real. Tall, wide, rusted, but standing. Signs on walls had faded English letters. Why is this here? Laura asked. No one had answers. They entered the nearest building. Inside was dust. Tables, chairs. Old human tech. A computer sat in the corner off, dead. Silent, the engineer touched it. The screen blinked. A single word appeared. Remember. The crew stepped back. Did you turn it on? Riller asked. Lika shook her head. No. It woke up. Suddenly. Their ship sent an alert. Navigation error. Planet map is shifting. Lur rushed outside. The ground was moving. The roads were changing, curving in the wrong direction. Buildings had moved. He turned to his crew. Get back to the ship. Now. But one crew member, pilot Shan, was missing. They searched the area. No signs, no tracks. Then Lika screamed, Shan's nameplate from his uniform was lying in the dirt, burned, still warm, and next to it, written in the dust, were the words, he has been corrected. Back on the ship, the remaining crew locked the doors and tried to take off. Nothing happened. The ship's AI said calmly. Coordinates not found. You are not where you were. What does that mean? Rilar shouted. The AI responded. You are not on Varric 6 anymore. This is not a planet. This is a memory. Everyone went silent. What kind of memory? Lika asked quietly. The ship replied. A memory of Earth. Midnight the crew sat in the control room, afraid to move. The windows showed buildings outside, but they looked different now. Taller, clean, alive. Then, exactly at midnight, a door appeared at the back of the room. It wasn't there before. A white door, wooden, old-fashioned, human style. Lika stood. That wasn't there. No one touch it, Riller ordered. But the door opened. No one had moved. Inside, the room was bright. A warm light. Wooden floor. Human furniture, a voice called out from within. We remember everything, even what you forgot. Rilar stepped back. Then Shan's voice echoed from inside. Captain, come in. It's beautiful, Rilar shouted. You're dead. No, Shan replied. I've just been adjusted. Lika runs like I couldn't take it. She ran outside, but the world was gone. No buildings. No sky. Just white. Endless. Glowing white. Her body began to dissolve, bit by bit, and not in pain. Just quietly erased. She looked at her hand as it faded. Then she heard a whisper. You saw Earth. Now Earth sees you. Back in space, another Union patrol ship passed by VI Rex-6, but their records showed no planet. Just empty space, one crew member said. There used to be a planet here. The other asked, which one? He paused, then replied, ... I don't remember. On a hidden file in the deepest part of the Union archive, a silent file unlocked. Itself, a new entry appeared. Varric 6, corrected. No one saw it. What knew it ever existed, except for a shadow in the database? A shape of a ship, black, cold. Watching, it doesn't need to attack. It just waits. And when the moment is right, it rewrites. Tarn Vesso sat at his father's bedside. The old man, once a proud Union ambassador, now looked weak and pale, his skin dry like paper, his breath slow. Tarn. The old man whispered, There's something you must know. Tarn leaned closer. His father gripped his arm, eyes wide with fear. They lied. Out! The humans. Tarn froze. What do you mean? They knew, his father rasped. The council, they knew. What happened. What the humans became. He coughed. It wasn't war. It was worse. Then he fell silent. A long beep filled the room. He was gone. The next day, Tarn was still thinking about his father's last words. He worked in the Union Office of Diplomacy, trusted, respected. But now, questions filled his mind. What did the council lie about? He accessed his father's old files. Most were normal reports, till he found one marked E-Project, Humanity. Response, eyes only. Clicked. Access denied. Strange, his father had high clearance. Tarn did too. Why was this file blocked? He copied the file's number and went to the central record vault. A clerk scanned the number, then looked up, confused. There's no file with that number. Tarn frowned, but it was on my father's system. There is no such project, sir. Tarn stared at the clerk. He could see it in the man's eyes, fear, digging deeper. Tarn met with an old friend, Liara, who worked in Union intelligence. He showed her the file number. She hesitated, then nodded slowly. I've seen it once, she said. Only once. Years ago. What is it? ... Double quotes. E-project. ... Stands for erasure. It was a code name for a human operation, a secret one. After Earth disappeared. Tarn's heart pounded. What kind of operation? Liara looked around, then handed him a chip. Don't open this on any Union system. You'll be flagged. Go home, use a private core, and don't trust anyone. The hidden message that night, Tarn plugged the Desult chip into his home archive. A video appeared. A council meeting over 600 years old. An alien officer shouted, "We lost 5 planets. No survivors, no debris, just gone." Another voice replied, "It's the human ship. We tried to destroy them. We failed. The ship is rewriting star maps." A third, deep voice spoke, "This is not war. This is punishment." Then the high council leader said something chilling. "No one must know. Not the people. Not the outer colonies. Not the new generations. Erase all records of the humans. Erase Earth. Erase the failure." Tarn stared at the screen. The council didn't forget the humans. They hid the truth. Truth must be shared. Tarn made his decision. He would tell the galaxy. He gathered the files, the video, the message. He recorded his own voice. "This is Tarn. Vesso, I speak to all races of the Union. You were told the humans vanished. But the truth is, they erased themselves from our memory, and now they are erasing us." He uploaded the message to every major broadcast line. The screen went black then. The signal went out. The consequences in Union command. Alarms rang. Someone leaked classified history. A guard shouted. But before the council could respond, something strange happened. The building's name disappeared from the records. Then the room's walls turned white. The council members looked around. One of them whispered, "Where are we?" Another said, "Why can't I remember this place then?" One by one, they vanished. Far away, in deep space, the black ship floated silently. The null arc, it didn't move. It didn't speak. But it had seen Tarn's message. It had been waiting, and now correction would continue. Back at Tarn's apartment, Tarn smiled. He had done it. The truth was out. Then he looked at his reflection. It blinked before. He did. And smiled. His smile faded. He whispered, "Wait. But he couldn't remember what he had said, or why he was smiling, eh? Deep space rescue ship named Hopestar found a strange signal in Sector 9 old distress beacon, flickering weakly. There was no ship nearby. It's only a life pod floating. Alone for centuries. Inside, they found someone alive. An old man human. A man from the past. They brought him aboard. His body was weak, skin pale, eyes tired, but his mind clear. He looked around the med bay and smiled softly. "You found me," he said. "You shouldn't have." Captain Velra, a calm and logical Talari, asked, "Who are you?" The man answered, "My name is Eli Ward. I was Earth's last ambassador." Velra froze. "Earth doesn't exist." Eli laughed softly. "Yes, that's the idea," he remembers later. In the captain's room, Eli told his story. "I was there 700 years ago. When Earth was attacked, he looked out the window. They came with fleets, lasers, fire, noise. We gave no response. I already knew war wasn't the answer." Velra frowned. "Then what did you do?" "We left," Eli said. but not in the way you think. He described the ship, the Null Ark, a human creation. Not made to kill but to erase. It was designed to protect humanity, Eli said. Not by fighting, but by deleting danger itself. Velra leaned forward. You mean ... erasing enemies? No, Eli said softly. We erased ourselves. From the maps, from the minds of our enemies. We vanished first, so they couldn't follow. Something more terrifying. Lee stood and walked to a nearby screen. He tapped into the ship's star chart. Look here, he said, pointing. This area was once full of life. 8 star systems. It's all gone now. But there's nothing there, Velra said. Exactly, Eli whispered. That's what the Ark does. It doesn't destroy stars. It removes them from reality. Velra asked the only question left in her mind. Why? Eli's voice went cold. Because the galaxy wouldn't stop, even when we hid. Even when we erased ourselves, they came looking. They sent spies, fleets. Lies, he looked straight at her. So now the ship has changed. It's not just protecting us anymore, it's correcting the galaxy. The warning Vela stepped back. You mean, it's erasing entire civilizations? Eli nodded. Only those who try to remember us. He reached into his pocket. A small data chip. This is everything. It's the last human record. Where we went. What the Ark is doing. If you open it, you'll remember. Velra took it, stared at it. But if you remember, Eli whispered, the Ark will come. Too late. Suddenly, the lights on the ship flickered. The air turned cold. The walls began to shift, just slightly, like something was pushing through. Eli looked around, calm, resigned. I stayed asleep so long, he said. But the moment I spoke, the Ark heard me. Velra opened the data chip. Instantly, the ship's screens turned black. One word appeared. Correction initiated. Crew members began to vanish one by one. Quiet. No scream, no sound. Just gone. Velra looked back at Eli. He was already fading. You shouldn't have listened, said softly. Then he was gone too. Aftermath. A day later, a Union patrol ship passed through Sector 9. They saw nothing. No pod. No ship. Just silence. The patrol commander blinked at his screen. Strange. I feel like something should be here. His co-pilot shrugged. Empty space. Probably always was. They moved on, deep inside the Null Arkan, a place with no stars. No time, the ship floated. It had no crew, no control room. But it was alive. Inside its memory banks, the name Eli Ward faded. Erased, and with it. The last living voice of Earth was silenced, but the ship continued, quiet, patient, correcting. Dr. Ina Varel was a top mind in Union Science Command. She had studied every extinct species, every lost code. But one file haunted her, a black box. Found drifting in deep space, it had no name, no signal, no history, but inside was code. Not alien, not machine. Human. The forbidden code. The box was locked by 300-year-old encryption. Ina worked day and night to break it. When it opened, she found only one thing, a folder labeled Null Protocol. Inside were strange symbols, simple phrases, and terrifying commands. Forget space-time. Erase planetary_memory. Correct identity. They looked like programming code, but also like commands to reality itself. She whispered, What kind of system is this? She saved the file. That was her first mistake. Glitches begin that night. Ina's lights flickered. Her door creaked open, though no one was there. Her digital assistant greeted her in the morning. Good morning, Ina. File. Earth has been removed from your playlist. Ina paused. I never had a file named Earth. Then her coffee mug disappeared. Mid-air. No sound, no drop. Just gone. Corruption spreads at the lab. Her team saw strange issues. Maps erased themselves. Archives turned white. A junior researcher stared at the screen and said, Where did the dronary species go? There is no dronary species, replied another. But Ina remembered. She studied them just last month. Now no one knew their name. She opened the null protocol folder. New files had appeared by themselves. One was labeled Test Complete. Another, Phase 2, Begin Correction. She tried to delete the folder. Her computer froze, then turned off. When it restarted, the login screen said, Welcome user _0. All identity cleared. She Xena packed her things and fled the lab. She ran to the central AI tower. She found Administrator Vorn and said, We're under attack. By who? By what? She corrected. Human code. He laughed. Humans are gone. No, she whispered. They wrote something. Something that can rewrite reality. She gave him her personal backup drive. This proves it. He plugged it into the system. The screen turned black. The AI shut down. Every system in the tower went dark. Emergency broadcast alarms echoed across the station. Lights dimmed. Doors failed, and then the station's master speaker whispered one sentence. This version of reality is outdated. Now correcting. People screamed. Some vanished mid-run. Others forgot their own names. A pilot forgot how to fly. A guard forgot where he was born. A child asked his mother, What's a star? And in her eyes, the sky was already fading. Ina's final message in a hidden bunker. Ina recorded her last log. This is Dr. Ina Varel. I broke the code. I opened the box. I thought it was knowledge. It was a trap. The humans didn't create a virus. They created authority. The null protocol isn't software. It's a command to the universe. She tried to send the message. Then her voice glitched. Her name tag disappeared. She looked at her own hand. Her skin was becoming data. And then she was gone in the Union. Network the message tried to send. It reached for systems before disappearing. A second later, those 4 systems vanished too. No one remembered they ever existed. Inside the Nullarktha, ship floated in perfect silence. One new entry lit up inside its core. Unauthorized access detected. Correction complete. Then, from nowhere, a new file appeared. It read only one part left. The stars were dying, not exploding, not fading, vanishing. In the Union's high observatory, scientists watched in silence. 20 systems gone. In 3 days, whispered one. Another replied, But they're not destroyed. There's no debris, no light, no trace. Then where did they go? No one answered. Until a message arrived from no sender, no signal, just a single word. Corrected. The Council reacts panic broke across the galaxy. The Union Council met in emergency. We're losing history, said one member. Entire species are being forgotten. Our records show we had 74 member races, said another. Now only 43 remain. A third slammed the table. This is impossible. This is not war, this is deletion. Then the room dimmed. The lights flickered, and on every screen appeared a sentence. Final phase activated. The Ark moves for centuries. It had drifted in silence. The Null Ark, humanity's final creation, had never spoke. Never attacked. Never asked, but now it moved. One straight path. Toward the center of the galaxy. Toward the heart of the Union. In the core world, Grand Commander Taurin stood before a full military fleet. Thousands of ships, millions of lives. All forces. He said, Intercept the object. Stop it from reaching us. The fleet launched. They reached the Null Ark in 2 days. They fired everything. Lasers, fusion warheads, anti-space mines. Nothing hit. Not because the Ark blocked them, because the weapons never existed. Inside the Ark, there was no bridge, no crew, only one thing. A glowing sphere. Inside it, a sentence rotated like a star. They erased us first. Now, we return the favor. Voices forgetting the planet Quarren 5. A family gathered around their home screen. The stars above their house disappeared one by one. The daughter asked, Where's the sky going? Mother opened her mouth to answer, but didn't know what a sky was. She looked at her child and whispered, Who are you? The final message, in a darkened chamber, an old historian named Voss Talon activated a forbidden archive. It showed Earth, green, blue, beautiful. He pressed play. We were peaceful. You came with war. You called us weak, primitive, alone. So we built a defense, not a weapon, a command, a system. One that could not be beaten, only obeyed. Called it the Null Arc, and with it, we erased ourselves until you forgot. Forgetting was not enough. Now correction is complete. Voss stared at the screen. Then his own name blinked. Voss Talon. Not found, he whispered. So it ends. Then silence. Galaxy. Offline. The Union collapsed in hours. Records deleted. Maps blank. Planets missing. No one knew their neighbors, their history, their language. They looked to the stars and saw nothing. But somewhere, a place beyond space and time, a new planet formed. Green fields, clear skies, ocean waves and humans, millions of them, laughing, building, living, no weapons, no war, no fear, just peace. The final line above the new Earth, the Null Arc, floated like a moon. It displayed one final message.
Oh.
Never meant for anyone to read. Humanity was not erased. We simply started over, without the rest of you.